We just got new listeners for my Twitter rant, and this is what they're gonna see.
This is what they were always going to get, man.
Nothing happened this week. You arguing with people on Twitter was the only thing that happened in MTG Finance.
Well, the thing is, but there's a big announcement coming out by the time this podcast goes live, so people are going to be like, why aren't you talking about that? Well, sorry, we're recording on Monday.
We didn't know about it.
Superbad came out in 2007.
Oh, okay, yeah, I could see Superbad being your movie.
Have you seen Superbad?
No.
Go make love yourself. You're the worst. Juno would be a good one.
Juno was also 2007, I think. But that's like that's not like a coming of age American Pie movie.
No, it's not.
That's just Juno. Like
Napoleon Dynamite, maybe.
Oh God, no.
You didn't like no.
I've seen it, not like on purpose.
Jason, was your coming of age movie that was popular when you were in high school? Was it The Graduate?
Are you trying to piss me off, Mrs. Robinson?
You're old. Do you get it? You're old.
Yeah, I get it.
I'm proud of myself. All right, I found a list of the top 100 coming of age movies.
Oh, is number one Porky's?
No, it's The Blue Lagoon. I'm sure this is on IMDb.
The Blue Lagoon.
This is on IMDb. This is just some random person. What the hell is this?
It's not peer reviewed. It's just some person.
It's not even voted. This is just stupid.
Just like a BuzzFeed.
But like, it was also one of the top. It's literally the top Google result. What the hell?
So some dipshit made a list and it like was the top Google result. That sucks. Maybe because nobody's looking for coming of age movies because they just watch them when they see them.
Yeah, they're all bad and people just watch the one that's.
I'm trying to be respectable as a Wizards employee.
No, my favorite movie is Good Will Hunting.
Oh, that's kind of all right.
What?
I don't know. It's fine.
That not?
It's a pretty good movie.
Okay.
It's a pretty good movie. At least you didn't say something really bro-y. That's fine. That's a. Out of everything that you could have said, I think Good Will Hunting is a pretty good choice, all things considered. It's got Robin Williams in it. It's got everybody doing that ridiculous Boston accent.
I was in New York over the weekend.
How do you like these apples?
I heard some accents. I almost witnessed a fight.
Wow, okay, it's time for Corbin to tell a terrible story. That time he didn't see a fight. All right, Corbin, tell us about the time you didn't see a fight.
Wait, Corbin, is this a story about like 2 hours ago when you almost witnessed a fight between you and your wife?
It is not that, no.
I like how hanging out with Tom Green got 10 seconds of coverage on the cast, and now Corbin's going to tell a story about not seeing a fight for 10 minutes.
All right, no, I was at the Giants-Bears game last weekend, all right, which is really cool.
What sport is that?
This is football. This is football. I went to a Knicks game on Saturday, and it was a crazy overtime game. I went to a football game on Sunday, Giants-Bears. It was also a crazy overtime game. But the coolest thing I saw...
Football goes to overtime?
It does in the NFL, yes.
What happens?
You play...
The first team to score? Or
you play 10 minutes, and if the team that receives the kickoff gets a touchdown, it's over. If they get a field goal, the other team has a chance to get a touchdown or field goal. After that, the first score wins. There has been a tie this year.
That's terrible.
Those are awful rules.
Well, it was worse when it was sudden death and a field goal ended it. You know, you'd play 60 minutes of tough competitive football to have somebody go 40 yards and get a 50-yard field goal and win the game, and it felt like a pretty lame way for a game to end. So that's why they changed it.
They should have a shootout like in hockey, but it's the field goal kickers, and they start at the 10, they both kick it, and then if they both make it, you go to the 20.
College has the best system. I mean, you know that, right? You get the ball. You get the ball at the 10-yard line, and you just alternate possessions with the other team, going backwards each time you have the same number of points.
That's what he just suggested, isn't it?
No, he said field goal kickers.
Yeah,
I'm talking offense.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
In college, the offense takes the field at the 10, and they have a series. It's first and goal from the 10. If they score a touchdown, the other team scores a touchdown, we go to overtime 2, and they go to the 15 or the 20-yard line and do it again.
That is significantly better.
Yeah, it's way better. The issue is you get really long games.
Yeah, but people paid to see
and scoring's higher in college, too. Yeah, but it's like not good for the athletes' bodies, blah, 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 right? I mean, it's football, so it's whatever.
It's football. Nothing's going to be good.
But I think that's the argument, right? Is that...
we care about their safety for the...
They're going to get brain damage and commit suicide at 40, but we're worried about their ACL?
Mm-hmm. Well, their ACL is the league's money, so yeah.
That's a good point. What happens after you retire is your business.
Yeah.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth. I didn't see that movie, but
All right, so I'm sitting
trailer.
up in the nosebleeds, right? And it's raining. It's horrible, right? Some guy is walking across, trying to get out, trying to squeeze out, and this dude slips in the middle of the row in section 312. So we're 100 feet up in the air, or however, probably more, whatever. However far up in the air we are at the top of the arena stadium. This guy starts to fall down the stairs, and
nice.
This is like they're packed as tightly as you can together. So these are just tiny little chairs, and everything's soaking wet. And this dude just starts falling from about 4 rows above me, 4 or 5 rows above me, and I just
how did you? It's behind you, so how did you know?
No, yeah. So I see out of the corner of my eye, feet in the air, as this guy goes just literally tumbling down all these rows of chairs. And this guy fell down 6 rows of chairs, basically did a cartwheel in midair on top of the seats while on top of people, right, who were below him. But this guy went full 360 degrees, falling down at the top where, this guy was 5 rows from hitting the bottom section and just fucking falling 50 feet or whatever, This guy just out of nowhere does this cartwheel, and he just lands perfectly in a chair 4 or 5 rows below him. Just free fall. It was crazy. It was the best athletic display I saw the entire weekend, and I was at an NFL game. Literally,
you almost witnessed a fight?
The whole section was cheering for this guy. It was nuts.
How drunk was that dude?
I don't know. It was early in the game. It was the first quarter. I think it was just wet. He might have been drunk, but it was just soaking wet.
If you're going to go to an NFL game where a tall boy is $11, you probably pregame.
Dude, the Knicks game was worse. It was $13 for a drink. It was insane.
$13 for like what? Like a 12-ounce beer or like a tall boy?
For a beer.
Oh.
It might have been for a tall. I got a mixed drink, and it was $13. And it was not a good pour. But
hockey games still aren't that bad.
Yeah, the football game was not as bad as the basketball game. Or the Knicks game. It's not that bad in Oklahoma City.
For those of you who are new to Brainstorm Brewery, this is a recurring thing where Corbin tells a really poorly designed story.
Actually, that story was pretty good.
That wasn't that bad, because if we circle back to Tom Green, I was like, he did a show, I did a different show, and then I went over to the show where he was at, and I went backstage and talked to him. And then he's like, well, my flight got moved to 6 a.m. I'd love to stay and have a beer, but I can't. And then he left. That's my Tom Green story. Did I just become Corbin? Fuck. I just told a Corbin-y story.
Yeah, I thought my story was all right because it involved a guy maybe dying. Your story was cool.
A guy did a flip. That's amazing. A drunk dude fell down. He's a football fan, so you don't care if he gets hurt, but he doesn't get hurt. So the story has like kind of a happy ending.
But there was
the guy did some cool Jackie Chan shit. Did a flip. That's cool,
I thought
man.
You said you almost witnessed a fight.
Yeah. But then I audibled to the better story. No, but there was almost a fight because behind us, and this is I really appreciate. I got the full New York experience. There were these really loud vocal fans behind us, New York fans, and we were sitting next to a Bears fan. But there was this Bears fan a couple rows in front of us, who all I know is at some point someone yells at this guy to sit down. He doesn't sit down. I think he'd spilled his beer or something, and he just starts screaming back and forth with the people behind him. People behind him are like, "Yeah, sit down," blah blah blah, in their New York angry voices. And he's just like, "What? You want to make something of it?" And he started calling them names that I'm not going to repeat on this podcast. And then he had to get escorted off by his wife / security. That
security
was
at the game.
Yeah, that was the almost fight. Like just
how
the
do you know
just
that
the
security
usher,
person
right?
was
just
his
the
wife
usher.
though? Oh.
It was like his wife trying to get him to leave. But it was crazy. I was like, holy shit, this came out of nowhere. These people are nuts. Also, the basketball game was crazy, too, because the people behind us... shout out to BDM, by the way. Brian David Marshall got me tickets to the Knicks game. Big thanks to him. He's awesome. But the Knicks game, there were fans behind us who were also just yelling, "You suck," and all kinds of mean things at the players that we don't do down here in Oklahoma, where we respect everybody.
You respect everybody down there, don't you?
Yeah, man. As long as they're following God's will of being a straight white person, yeah, we love them.
Never threw a banana at anybody.
So I don't know.
Cool.
That was the trip. Anyways, it was cool watching that guy. That guy could have legitimately just fallen off the rail and died.
Oh yeah,
I think that's a better story
if the
yeah.
guy
Well,
just,
yeah, dude, but it was
tumbled
nuts.
another 4 rows.
Seriously,
hit the railing.
there were 100 people or whatever in the section just standing up and cheering this guy. And every time he got up after that to go to the bathroom or get a beer, every time he made it to the end without falling, he just got a round of applause.
You did it.
It was pretty good. And like I said, man, that was the most impressive athletic display I saw all day.
Cool. Well, a dude didn't die. That's pretty cool.
Also, I very cleverly slipped in an Eminem reference to Tom Green earlier, and I just got no respect. So I'm giving myself some props for that.
Was that before we started recording?
No. I obviously did it while we were recording.
Oh, yeah. The Dead Moose thing. That's so similar to stuff he actually did on the Tom Green show, which if you weren't watching MTV...
He did do it, right? Isn't that the whole point of the Eminem song?
He did something. He, sucked a reindeer's udder or something crazy. He did all kind of weird stuff.
It's cool for Tom Green to hump a dead moose. I think the next lyric is "My bum is on your lips, my bum is on your lips." So maybe that's not a.
Well, he did a song called the Bum Bum Song. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You remember Tom Green's Bum Bum song?
No, I don't.
All right. Right when I moved back from the UK, it was the summer of '98. So I just watched MTV because I missed 2 years of American.
Because you had to watch Total Request Live, right?
Well, Jackass and Tom Green Show were both on MTV then, so I kind of got caught up. I was like, oh, American culture went down the fucking toilet in the 2 years I was gone. So, yeah. So anyway, it was Jackass. It was a Tom Green show, and Tom Green was just a nice guy from Canada who did some public access show, and then he's like, "What if I was really weird all the time?
What if I just went crazy?"
And if you talk to Tom Green, you're like, oh, he knows how to talk like a normal person. Because, any character he's ever done, he hosted SNL, he did the same, character. The way he talks in all his movies is, really weird. And then he doesn't talk like that in your real life. And you're like, oh, yeah, he was always doing a character. So, the public Tom Green, even in his stand-up, he's, doing this weird voice. And then he talks normal, and you're like, it's like meeting Gilbert Godfrey backstage. He's like, "Hi, I'm Gilbert.
Does he talk nice to meet you?"
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah. There's Google Gilbert Gottfried voicemail or something like that. He left a voicemail on some other comedian's answering machine. And he's just like, "Hey, it's Gilbert. I just wanted to thank you for whatever the other night." And then he's like, I gotta get back on stage and do his voice. This voice is so annoying.
Oh, good for him, man.
So Tom Green talks like a normal person. So
wow,
that's the
good
only.
For him.
Yeah, good for him. He did it.
Is he good at stand-up?
Oh yeah, he's hilarious, and he's been doing it for 30 years. So
you did a show in the same place as him?
No, I did. I was hosting my show across town, and then I as soon as my show ended, I just I'm like, pay me, and then I busted ass across town to try to catch the end of his show.
Oh, and
then I just went backstage and hung out. I will have more opportunities to meet Tom Green caliber comedians. But I just him specifically, for whatever reason, I felt like his show was a cultural touchstone for me moving back from the UK.
That is so sad.
That's sweet. Shut up, Corbin.
It really explains a lot in your life, actually.
The Tom Green show. I gotta act from now on.
Jackass, I'll give you. The Tom Green show?
He was really mean to his parents, and I was like, yes, I should do that.
Huh. All right, Jason, you do you, man. You guys want to talk some magic?
No.
Okay. I didn't.
No,
nothing
but we
happened.
Will.
They're counterfeits. They're still terrible.
Yeah, I did see a little bit of that floating around.
Oh, this talk? Whew.
No, I don't think we're having this talk. I did see this float up again. The counterfeits suck.
They're bad.
They're only good if you're looking at them.
They suck on many levels. They're not good. If you just touch them, you're like, that's a counterfeit. Wow. Don't buy counterfeits.
Yep. Don't buy counterfeits.
That's the moral of the story. Don't buy counterfeits and don't marry Johnny Knoxville.
He's rich, and you don't have to have sex with him.
Do you think he's rich?
Yeah.
I bet he's really responsible with his money.
Yeah,
Anybody who does that
Steve-O
on camera,
is not.
Yeah.
Oh my god, if you Jim Norton does a radio interview program, It's the Jim and Sam show.
Okay.
The clips are on YouTube. If you hear their interview with Steve-O and how irresponsible he was with his money and how many times he was in rehab and shit, it's hilarious. He was just like, he was renting 5 apartments in the same apartment building, and like one of them, he like just turned into a skate park. It was ridiculous. And he got kicked out. Oh yeah, just Johnny Knoxville's like, hey, I invested some of my money and I blew some of it on penis surgery that didn't work, but the rest of it I invested. And Steve-O's like, I wonder how many drugs I can fit up my ass.
Well, I think Steve-O's big mistake there was realizing that he did not have a career after the show.
Yeah.
Johnny Knoxville did. It's fine to spend money like that
Steve-O
if you've
had
got
a
it to
show,
spend.
right? He had a show with Bam where they were like, tried to be the crocodile hunter, and they were like, we're animal jackass.
I don't recall that.
I think that was a thing.
No,
I don't know.
Something tells me it probably didn't do.
I didn't watch MTV after age.
Yeah,
18,
I mean, it's like,
so really
Johnny
know.
Knoxville got parts of movies, like whatever. Steve-O, it's like, one, no one knows your last name. That's not a good start for you, right? If you're only
you know why it's I have a prediction.
You're basically squee level at that point, you know.
Yeah. I think he goes by Steve-O because his last name's Polish. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I have no idea.
I bet it's
don't
I'm
know.
just saying that, like, that's not typically a sign of a stellar acting career to come, or comedy or whatever.
He could have. Well, Johnny Knoxville's doing basically jackass movies now.
Oh, really?
So like but Steve-O is just in rehab too much.
Maybe the problem was the drugs.
It wasn't even for what you'd think.
along.
You're like, oh, he got addicted to painkillers because he was always hurt himself. No,
I assume it's just cocaine.
Yeah,
so you would think
like,
cocaine.
oh yeah, I could see getting hooked on painkillers because you're always going over Niagara Falls in a urinal or whatever. But it's like, no, it wasn't even painkillers. It's just like, just cocaine.
He just had too much fun.
Oh, good.
He had a skate park for an
your
apartment. How is
Yeah,
it could happen to any of us. That's the truth.
I don't. If you'd given me $20 million when I was 18, I'm not sure I would have invested it all that wise. I'd probably have a set of Power 9 though.
I got a big bunch of money when I was 18. I had a car accident where somebody just like wrecked me very hard, and then I got a big settlement out of it when I was 18 or 19.
Well, that sucks because I live in Michigan and 95% of our auto collisions are between a man and a deer, so it's a no-fault insurance state. So you can't really sue somebody.
No, it was like a crazy accident. I was just leaving school and somebody turned in front of me. Like I was going straight, they turned to left. And I slammed on the brakes, but I was like going 45 or whatever, so I just like skid into the back of their like trailer on their vehicle. And I obviously wasn't wearing my seatbelt because I was 18. So
what do you mean? What's that obvious? What?
Wait, what?
I was an idiot.
How did they not find you at fault for that?
How are you at fault when someone turns in front of you?
Because you weren't wearing your safety belt.
That doesn't change the laws of driving.
It changes the amount of injuries you get.
Oh, that's for sure true. Yeah.
Which should change the payout.
It probably did when I negotiated with the.
So Corbin hit his head on the steering wheel, got
I hit my head on the
brain injury, and I'm going to live in Oklahoma forever.
I hit my knee on the car, like the dash, put a hole in the dash. I hit my head on the windshield, and I just had it was like, hey, people on video can actually see it probably. It's like up here, I've got a scar on. I had a big scar from it. I also I had a bunch of glass embedded in my face, like right above my eye that I had to have removed with surgery.
This is such a good story. Why have you never told this?
I don't know how I haven't told it, man. It's just a fact of my life. It just happened.
Wow.
So the thing with the glass in your face, though, right? This is the thing I learned. One, I got out of the car. Obviously, I had a concussion, but I was very angry at this person for just pulling in front of me and wrecking me for no reason. And these people, they said, "We go get boss," and then they ran away. I mean that they got out of their vehicle, which was wrecked, and they ran away with their legs.
On foot.
Yep. While I'm yelling at them, bleeding with glass poking out of my face or whatever, right above my eye, just, spewing blood everywhere.
It was rough, man.
They sounded vaguely undocumented.
They might have been undocumented. It turns out their business owner also did not have insurance. So I ended up getting paid by my own insurance company for like an uninsured motorist claim. And then my insurance company sued that place out of business, I'm sure.
Sure.
Because I'm sure like my my share of the hospital bills was not cheap. Obviously. And yeah, I had to have the surgery to remove the glass from my eye. But the thing about glass in your face is a lot of it gets underneath your skin and then they can't really get it out. And it kind of works its way around like underneath your skin. And this is just apparently a thing that happens. So,
oh yeah,
literally, for my entire life since then, the last time has been probably a couple years now, but glass would randomly float to the surface of my head or face and come out.
Yeah, and you're just like, why does that itch? And then you scratch something and
then
it
would
comes
hurt,
open
right?
And you pull a piece of glass out.
Yeah, it would itch. It would be like a little itch, but then you'd hit it and it'd be like, oh shit, this hurts. But then that means it was at the top and I could generally, grab it at that point and pull it out. Yeah, and it's just little pieces of glass for a decade afterwards. But I did get a bunch of money out of it. And then I took that money and I invested it into an IRA. So, worth it?
Wow, you really hate the British if you gave all that money to the IRA.
Right.
So, that's cool. That was good that you invested it. That was very smart of you.
Would you have done that, Jason? Jason, what would you have done if you got... I think it was like $13,000. I spent $2,000 on a laptop.
Oh, okay.
And then I invested the other then I paid bills and I had like some number left to invest.
See, I had way better parents because like in addition to advising me to invest that money wisely, my dad also advised me to wear a seatbelt. So I probably wouldn't have gotten shit from the crash.
But I wouldn't yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, like so who really like, look, the moral of the story is
no one's ever pulled
glass
out of my face with tweezers, so I'm going to go with I win.
I don't know, man. Money's money.
Corbin also saves all that money on not buying car seats for Ben, just in case.
Yeah, right? He's not old enough to tell me if he wants to wear a car seat like a pussy or not, so.
Wow. All right, man.
A car seat? I didn't realize I had a daughter.
Yeah. Yep. Anyways, so I made a bunch of money off it, so I think it was pretty much worked out.
Good, man. That's great. I'm happy for you.
Yeah. So the best
listeners, part, not every straight white male has it that easy. Some of us have to take a little glass to the face to get our
to get ahead of
to get our patriarchy paycheck.
Yeah.
Well, the best part of that is I then had a scholarship interview at the school I ended up going to, except I had glass in my eye, so I had a giant ass eye patch on. So literally what happened is like I had the wreck at like 4:00 or something after school. I was in the hospital all night. I come home the next day. I'm just loaded up on drugs. I look like a pirate who's just had eye surgery. Like it's not like an eye patch. It's like the entire head is taped up or whatever, right? So I spent a day concussed in bed, doing nothing, just being like on painkillers. And then the next day I had a scholarship interview. So I had to go.
What kind of eye surgery do you think pirates had access to? Like, what kind of...
So the next day I had to go into a scholarship.
We're going to do a process called radial keratotomy. No, man, it's like take a swig of rum, bite this bullet, and I'm taking what's left of your eye out of the socket, and then you're going to get a jaunty patch.
Yeah. Anyways, I had a scholarship interview, and it was just with half my head bandaged up. But I got the scholarship, so...
And then you got made fun of on SNL afterwards, and it was brutal.
Yeah, which is terrible, really. So anyways, I think it all really worked out. Basically, what I'm saying is not wearing my seatbelt led to me getting a full ride to college and having a retirement fund. I think that's what I'm saying. That's the lesson we should be teaching kids, right?
Don't wear your seatbelt.
I mean, it worked out for me. It must work out for everybody.
Works out for lots of people.
Yeah. I wear my seatbelt now.
That's like wiping before you poop. You did those things in the wrong order.
Yup. Anyways, how about we break some bulk, guys? What do you think?
Well, why not? Because the counterfeits don't matter. They're bad and yeah, whatever. Okay,
For anybody still listening, you deserve the finance info.
Whatever, nothing happened this week. We're sorry. It
is true that nothing happened.
Podcast.
It's also true that we've been talking for 30 minutes, so I hope some of it's after hours.
Yep.
Not all of it, but I hope some of it
Not
is.
all of it.
We'll leave it up to JJ's.
Use your best judgment.
Yeah, we'll use it up to JJ. Leave it to JJ's discretion. What could go wrong?
He just flips coins every 30 seconds.
Never burned us in the past.
JJ just like cuts the clips into 30-second intervals and flips coins.
Yeah. JJ, what are you going to do? Are you going to send it to us twice and say, hey, listen to this before I send it out? And then you're just going to send it out anyways?
Yeah.
Just because we didn't listen and it had
just
been a week?
because I told you.
Whatever, man.
Yeah. Just because I didn't tell you not to.
Yeah,
All right.
Whatever.
Breaking bulk time. Breaking bulk time. Break.
Oh, yeah, breaking bulk. There's so much good stuff.
It's a pick. Breaking bulk. The end.
I got a card from a recent set that has become a pick, and it's getting played in Modern, including decks like Jeskai Control. It is an Amonkhet blue common.
Hieroglyphic illumination.
Well, go fuck yourself.
Did it!
That's the first breaking bulk you've gotten, I think, ever.
Recent card, Modern. I did it.
Okay, cool. For whatever reason, I guess because you can keep 4 up at the end of the turn,
Yeah.
and if you can't keep 4 up, you can still cycle it for 1, which is pretty cool. It's a pretty versatile card, I think.
Yeah, the card's sweet. It's you either Cryptic Command or you play it in the end step, but a lot of times you just cycle it and it's just fine, you know?
It's Delve Fuel.
It's basically usually versus Opt, which you want more. You know, Opt's ever only going to find you 1 card.
Yeah, and this could potentially find you too,
Right.
especially when, like later in the game when you've got mana to burn or you just don't do anything on your turn. Because you're a Drago deck as Jeskai Control, so I like it. It's like draw 1 card or draw 2 cards. I think it's pretty cool.
This pick is great because people will ship you Amonkhet bulk with these in it because it's not standard legal.
What's it worth?
Picking.
I'd assume it's like a dime on CK or something.
Yeah, well, that's
Yes.
pretty reasonable.
Yep, and I just recently I went through a bunch of recent bulk. Some guy sold me just all kind of crap, and I saw these were a pick, and I went looking after why. I went to
It's not on CK buy list, so I'm actually.
I look at the buy list price. If actually TCG Player has the highest buy list price.
Yeah, that.
Well, they have their highest buy list price, not the highest buy list price.
Right.
Well, yeah, there, but like it's CK's not buying it at all, and somebody there's always some lunatic that's like, I want only EX copies of this. I want 250 EX copies.
Well, and it's the kind of card that if it is getting played in Modern, it's the only printing of it. It's got cycling. I mean, it's not that difficult to reprint in like a Commander set or something, but it's also not just going to show up. So even if you pick them, but you don't have a place to sell them yet, because you usually sell to Card Kingdom or whatever, like we've talked before about that. There's cards you pick that you don't sell, you just keep.
Foils are apparently $13.
Breaking bulk is don't sell this for half a cent or 4/10 of a cent or 3.5 of a cent or whatever the going bulk rate is. Just pick these out. If you don't sell them immediately, stick them in a box. When these are 25 cents on a buy list in a year, you'll be like, oh shit, I have 100 of these.
Yeah,
so
DJ's
you're
right.
welcome.
This spiked hard. Back in September, it just got bought out, went from 10 to 30 and has settled. I'm sorry, went from $1 for the foil to 30 for a hot minute, and then is settled out around $10.
Oh, the foil on this?
Yeah, the median jumped obviously because it got bought out, but the market price has just steadily been rising. It seems to be about $10 on the foil. Yeah, that's a good sign too.
It's just it's a real versatile card. It draws you 1 or 2. Jeskai Control decks are playing it as a 2 of. That's a good sign.
Yeah. All right, I got one for you guys. This is not going to give it away because it's mirrored in, but it's a mirrored in uncommon. It's an artifact.
Welding jar.
No,
Welding Jar's common.
it was reprinted in an Archenemy set and a Commander set.
Sun Droplet.
It is Sun Droplet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sun Droplet's sweet. Sun Droplet is $1.
Has this been a breaking bulk recently? I feel like we've done
I thought it was, but
I kind of felt like it's not on the spreadsheet.
Okay.
It feels like one I've probably done at some point in the past. But
it's just
if the past was
it's
2
one of
years
those
ago,
cards.
then that's fine.
Wait, you said Arch Enemy and Commander? Wasn't it in a dual deck?
I'm
Dragons
seeing,
versus Knights or something?
I'm seeing
think so.
on MTG stocks at least Archenemy, Commander 2013, and Meriden.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's
I believe
$1.
you.
For those who don't know, it's 2 mana.
whenever you're dealt damage, put that many charge counters on it. At the beginning of each upkeep, remove a charge counter, gain a life. So the idea is you play it on turn 2 against Burn, whatever they lightning bolt you. Now you have 3 counters on it. You're going to get the first point on their turn, the second point on your turn, and it just adds up very, very quickly.
No, Sundrop was anti-burn tech like back when it was standard.
Yeah, card is great.
Yeah.
So it's $1.
It's real solid.
It's a nice pick too. It's not just a 25-cent card or whatever. It's a little plate. It's $1.
It's $1 despite 3 printings.
Yeah.
And none of them were that substantial, but still, like, you know what a junk mirrored and common goes for nothing is,
right?
Or uncommon goes for nothing. So,
yep.
Yeah, good pick, man.
I have a Homelands green card.
I don't care.
Is it Autumn Willow? Is it like a rare?
It's not a rare.
Okay. Green card that's a pick from Homelands?
Yep.
There's probably
it is
one
a
or
rare.
two.
It is a rare.
Okay.
I thought this was a common or uncommon, but it is a rare.
What do you know?
It's not Autumn Willow. It's
I mean, rarity doesn't matter for Homelands.
It really doesn't. They were like 8-card packs that didn't always have a rare or something.
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
terrible.
I mean, there's a reason Homelands is.
I'm sure I went through and picked these because I just did Homelands, but I can't think of what it was.
It has a picture of a cat on it.
I'm stumped.
Willow Priestess is a 4 mana.
Oh shoot,
2/2.
Willow Priestess. All right.
Yep. It's a 4 mana 2/2, and I actually put this in my wife's EDH deck. She plays Bant Rubinia Fairies. And
okay, interesting.
I mean, Rubinia is a fairy. It's like a tribal.
Fairies
deck.
without black is interesting.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty good deck because you can go infinite in a variety of ways with like Cloud of Fairies and Mirari's Wake, and you can play like Eldrazi Displacer with all the Enter the Battlefield fairies.
Yeah, for sure.
But Willow Priestess is a 4 mana 2/2. You can tap it to basically Aether Vial a fairy from your hand and to put it directly into play. And then it also has a little tag along ability of 2 and a green. Target green creature gains protection from black till end of turn. So that's kind of nice. It's just like $1 retail, and you can ship them to Card Kingdom for 30 cents or so. And the cool thing about Homelands bulk is there's basically only one card that people take out of it, and that's Merchant Scroll. So
yep. People will ship all kind of like rares because they can't even tell.
Didgeridoos will get picked out because that's whatever. But
that's like obvious, yeah. But like, there's a lot of bulk rares you'll get in Homelands just as bulk, and bulk rares worth 20 times the bulk rate, so that's pretty good. Just because people don't know the anything under the expansion symbol isn't colored, it's gonna throw people off.
Yep, Willow Priestess.
Yeah, there you go. All right. We did it. We talked about all the Magic stuff there is to talk about this week. What do you got, Jason?
No, I mean, yeah, I guess we.
No, you had some. Oh, okay. You want to do that in pick of the week? Yeah. Well,
yeah.
The one thing I'll say is that Arena is a thing that I'm diving into. Have you guys played any Magic Arena?
I have never touched that program.
I have watched someone play it, and it kind of is a hybrid between the ultra simplistic, you can't really do anything duels of the Planeswalkers, and the ultra complicated, too many menus, I died to misclicking Magic Online. It feels more Magic than Hearthstone, but it's pretty easy looking to play. I don't know. It's not the...
I think it's great. It's just not my
It's
thing.
Magic flavored Hearthstone. It's not like Magic, but at the same time, it's
I think
so
it is, man.
easy to just.
I think
it is.
I think it's Magic.
It's not my thing, but it's cool, I guess.
It's pretty close to Magic.
I think it's Magic, man. They added.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I actually like the Hearth. I like how you first described it. It's Hearthstone Magic. I actually like playing the best of one queues, and I like playing with bad decks, and I like drafting against the AI, just because of how fast it goes. So I actually kind of like that Hearthstone Magic experience. And when you're not playing sideboards, that's a lot of what you get, you know. But you start playing with sideboard, like they have best 2 out of 3 constructed. There's also they have this for best of 1 matches only. Somehow in the back end of the system, it draws you 2 opening hands and gives you the one as your opening hand that is closer to the ideal land distribution or whatever. And it gives that to you up front. So it's kind of like a free mulligan, sort of, except it's done invisibly.
No, it's
on
like
the back
a
end.
free serum powder almost.
Well, but you don't see the first one, right? It's just you don't. I don't know the exact algorithm. I don't know what they do or whatever, right? Or so how much better or worse it is. But it just draws you two opening hands, and then you get one. So you have less mulligan to oblivions in the best of ones. You have fewer. Oh, I had 2 lands and then never got a third or whatever. Or I had 1 land and never drew a second. It's probably more likely. So that's pretty cool. That's like the Hearthstone. When you say it's Magic Hearthstone, that's what that part is. I love it. So I started a series on TCG Player this week for anyone to check out if you're interested. Where if you're trying to get into the game, I'm calling it 12 rare runs. The idea, I'm doing a constructed event with decks that have no more than 12 rares in them, because the rarity is the currency on Magic, on MTG Arena. Even on Magic Online, a deck can have 40 rares, but if they're all worth a dime, you have a budget deck. But on MTG Arena, Teferi costs the same as, say, Drowned Secrets or whatever, because it's just 1 rare card.
I mean, Teferi is a mythic, so that's wrong, but I get your point.
Yes, you do get...
Yeah, take that, you stupid
Sorry,
idiot.
let me name a bulk mythic instead. Apex of Power. How about that? Yeah, sorry. But, yeah, so it's interesting, but I am targeting that series towards a budget player, and there's nothing else to talk about, so I'm plugging it this week. Go check it out if you have any interest in going to Arena.
Something funny, I saw Sam Tango on Twitter.
Kitchen Table Magic.
Yeah. He said that he used his rares to get, early in the game to get Settle Wreckage, because nobody expected somebody with a bunch of Dirtle monsters to have Settle.
Yeah.
So they would just always swing into it. So, use your first wild cards or whatever to get that as your first couple of mythics or rares or whatever.
I haven't been doing much constructed.
That's a legit strat, I think. That's pretty funny.
Yeah,
Nobody expects
like
you to
that.
have something like that.
And the thing is, they make clicking attack all really easy anyways. So it's very hard to play around Settle anyways, because you just want to click attack all.
Yeah, that's something I ran into. Like, any game that has that option and you forget. So there's a play all option in Star Realms, and I always get blown out because I have something that draws extra cards.
Yep, that's happened to me in Star Realms too.
And then it's like, oh, I drew my recycling center and I already played all my scouts. I suck at this. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean,
if the play all button's there, I'll click it, and I wish
the worst with Arena was when you had a creature that attacked automatically, like Goblin Rabble Master was the big one here. When you move to combat, usually you can click all attack, or you can click on your attackers, and you're used to just spamming, say, all attack, right? But if you have a creature that automatically attacks, like from, say, Rabble Master, it doesn't have an all attack window. It immediately goes to one attacker, because it automatically makes that creature attack for you, since it has to attack. But it caused so many times misclicking through, because you think you're just slamming attack all because you want to attack with all your creatures, but instead you end up attacking with just the token. I think they changed that recently because of how annoying it was. But no, so MTG Arena, I don't know how close it'll be to, hitting the big time or whatever. I guess there's a Wizards announcement that might be related. We might find out. Who knows? It might have been announced by the time this podcast comes out.
Yeah, by the time we might have.
Well, it depends what people are listening to
it
it early or not. So we just know that what they previously said, there's a big announcement coming. So, and we assume it's related to Arena because everyone assumes it's related to Arena. So who knows? It'll be exciting to see where they go. And I love Arena. I think it is the future of Magic on the internet, if not Magic overall. So,
well,
pretty excited.
I still like cardboard, so
I do too. Well, that's the thing is, I think Arena is going to be really good for cardboard, and that's probably the more salient point to what we're talking about on this podcast. Is that I don't look at Arena and say this is going to kill my ability to sell cards, or this is going to put the store out of business.
Because Magic Online didn't.
Well, right, Magic Online didn't, but more just look at Duels of the Planes. The best time in Magic history, I think that at least DJ and I have been around this game. The biggest boom was around Zendikar or that era, and that was because of Duels of the Planeswalkers.
Yep.
They were giving people promo cards, good promo cards, Grave Titans, I believe, right? Wasn't that one of them? Yeah. Just to go into a store with the pack they got from playing Duels of the Planeswalkers. And MTG Arena is 1,000,000,000 times better than that. So I think there are going to be people who just want to play online. That's fine, right? But it's going to drive a lot of people who maybe played Hearthstone or whatever. They get into MTG Arena and they're like, wow, I can go play in paper? And it may suck to have to rebuild a collection, of course, but, you know, a non-zero number of people are going to do it. More eyes on Magic is more eyes on Magic, and that's good for the game as a whole. So, I don't know. I love Arena. I'm hyped to be on board, finally making some regular content for it. All right,
fine.
FTV emails? What do you guys say?
Yeah, let's do FTV emails, dog.
Jason, sing the song.
I think they're going to actually
Jason, sing the song!
Corbin is a stupid fucking idiot. This is the segment all about how Corbin didn't read your emails and he got blown out. So if you transcribed a set review, too fucking bad for you.
Alright, onward.
From the vault. If we didn't read your email, don't blame Jason all.
The shingles on the roof. Alright, I'm going to read an email.
What do you got for us 5 years late, Corbin?
Okay, well, forgive me, listeners, if you've read this one in the past. This is from Daniel Bay.
Oh, I haven't heard from him in a while. That guy used to be a big supporter.
He was, yeah. Nice guy. This email came to us on July 5th, 2013.
Ooh.
Hey guys, you already know I love the show and how you guys are pulling out the stops when it comes to getting content for your fans. Again, great video on Modern Masters and giving a taste of the Vegas house for those of us who couldn't attend. That's right, because this was 2013 after the Vegas house. That's how old this is. Congrats yet again to Corbin and Marcel for day 2ing the GP, and one last congrats to Corbin for top 24, mainly because Ryan simply wouldn't give credit where credit is due on the cast.
Remember Ryan?
There's more email here, but I don't really feel like reading the rest of it. That part pretty much covered it.
Was it just a lot of ass kissing?
No.
Are you not reading because he said something nice about me?
No, no one does that.
That's
I was wondering if you guys could take a moment to talk about non-card Magic-related product. You've mentioned things in the past. Jason has a box full of deck boxes. There's been mention of binders and dice, and there's more out there. And I'm curious.
There are Facebook groups that you should join if
Wait
you
a
want to
minute.
get
Wait,
rid of that
I'm going to read
garbage.
this. What? All right. This email says, personally, I've seen the older single-column 1,000-card storage boxes with different artwork. Oh, I actually have some of those. I can show.
Yeah, like the Urza's
I
block
have
ones and crap like that.
One second, I'll grab
I have
one
a
for the
lot
cast
of
here.
those. Are you getting up for the 7 people that actually watch the YouTube video of this podcast?
Let him clomp his way over there and show us the pretty
podcast.
box.
I can't hear you guys.
It's good, Corbin. It's good that you made everybody wait. I mean, we got tens of thousands of people listen to the podcast and 11 viewers on YouTube. But like, yeah, give them a special treat.
Don't you do that every week with a beer glass?
You don't know. You've never watched.
So, anyways, I didn't hear what you guys said, but Daniel's right. That stuff is worth money. But as you can see, it's sitting behind me because you have to put it on eBay to sell it, and that's annoying. So
No, you throw it on Facebook. Facebook groups are better.
Facebook groups are not bad. I actually have a bunch of I got it right here. What is this? This is a 4th edition?
Oh, I got the box from the Selesnya Guild kit. I'm gonna sell it. I'm gonna sell the sticker.
I have the rule
I'm gonna
book.
sell the pin.
I have the rule book from summer 1996 right here.
I have Friday Night Magic
insert rule book with the
I have,
actual
Summer 1996, as in Summer Magic.
No. It's just what it says on this paper. This isn't. It's just the back of the rule book. It's an ad for the Duelist magazine. It says summer 1996 on it.
I have Friday Night Magic. I have Friday Night Magic M&Ms.
The first page. Oh, that's cool. That's cool, actually.
They have Liliana on them. They're from like the original Innistrad.
The first page I flipped to explains banding.
Nice.
I'm not going to read this, but
Read banding. Nothing happened this week. If you want to read something...
Oh, it's a quiz. It's a quiz, you guys.
Oh, I'll take the quiz.
All right, let's hear it.
Holy crap. Okay.
All right, let's do this. Let's do it.
Okay, you have a Banalish hero. It's a 1/1 with banding.
Oh, I know what Banalish Hero does, sir.
Okay.
I started playing it.
All right. A Mesa Pegasus. 1/1 flying and banding.
Yeah.
And a War Mammoth. 3/3 trample. You want to attack with these three wow, the spacing's even wrong in this little book. You want to attack with these three creatures. Can you band them?
Yes, you can, because 2 of the creatures have banding, and you can have up to 1 creature without banding as part of that band.
You're right. That's in the answer of the rules of banding. You can form an attacking band out of any number of banders, plus up to 1 non-bander. Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. So if you... Oh, this quiz has 6 parts. All right, I'll just give you...
Yeah, it's going to get harder. I'm going to mess these up. Keep going. It gets harder because, like, does the band fly?
What?
Can the band be blocked by a non-flyer?
That is correct. Can a creature without flying block this band? Quiz part 2.
Yes, because only the Mesa Pegasus has flying, so the rest of the band doesn't.
Yep, banding does not allow them to share, but the hero and the mammoth cannot fly.
Yeah. Also,
if one of them is blocked, then the whole band is blocked.
The whole band is blocked.
So a non-flyer could block the hero or the mammoth, and thereby block this band. Quiz
Which
part 3.
Which means the Pegasus doesn't deal the
Quiz
damage.
part 3. Would the band trample?
No.
No, since banding creatures don't share special abilities. The mammoth, however, would still trample.
Right.
So how does that work?
Well, the band is considered blocked, but the mammoth does trample damage, but the Pegasus and the hero don't deal damage.
Even though they weren't blocked and the mammoth was.
The band was blocked.
This is okay.
What the hell?
Quiz part 4. If your opponent blocks the band with a 2/2 creature, how much trample damage gets through?
1.
Jason? Now's the time
to not 1. Is it 3?
Now's the time to dig out that sentence about trampling, the one that didn't make sense earlier. Trample damage is always assigned last. So if the hero Pegasus Mammoth band gets blocked by a 2/2, the damage from the hero and the Pegasus kills the defending creature, and all 3 points of the Mammoth's trample damage carry over to your opponent.
Oh, snap.
Quiz part 5. If that 2/2 creature blocks your band as described, how many of your creatures would die?
I mean, both,
one of them, because
right?
you can assign all the damage to one of the creatures.
The answer is up to you. Since you're the band's controller, you can assign the damage among all the creatures in the band.
Oh, wait, shit, you could deal all to the mammoth so nothing would die.
You would probably want to assign both points of damage to the mammoth, that way all of your creatures survive. Quiz part 6.
Yeah, that's right.
If your opponent blocks the band with a 4/4 instead, how many of your creatures die?
2. No, it could be 1. It could be 1.
Why, Jason?
Because you could assign all the damage to one of the 1/1s.
The answer, Jason, is because the answer is up to you. Most likely, you'll want to assign all 4 points to the hero, keeping the Pegasus and Mammoth alive. Yes, you can do that. When we say you can distribute the damage however you like, we really do mean however you like, so long as all the damage ends up hitting 1 or more of the creatures in your band.
Yeah, banding.
Okay.
But that's why banding was
anybody want to buy this
good,
rule
because
book?
if they had one huge creature, you could swing with a bunch
Anybody
of 1/1s all
buy
banded
this
together.
rule book? Please buy this rule book.
I have dozens of them. That was 4th edition, it sounds like. Good,
yes,
man.
I think it was 4th
The 4th edition rulebook was like, hey, you should lightning bolt your opponent on your first turn. So I would always do that because the rulebook said to. And then my buddy played an Uncle Isvine, and I couldn't swing through it because it didn't take damage from creatures. And he was like, well, bet you wish you had that lightning bolt. And I was like, the rulebook said to kill you. You're 17, idiot. And they stayed at 17 because they blocked all my shit with Uncle Isvan.
Wow.
And that is my first game of Magic.
Wow, banding sounds pretty neat. Pretty sad I missed that one.
It was pretty confusing if there's a 6-part quiz in the rulebook. You don't see a 6-part quiz about cycling.
Jesus, that was insane. All right, so I'm going to continue the rest of this email. There are also things like oversized promotional cards, convention giveaways, I'm going to read this verbatim, like the Harry Potter and the purple dildo tote bag.
Oh, that was a direct quote because that was
sounds
something,
like something
I said
you would
5
have
years
said.
ago.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sounds like a Jason shitting on Harry Potter because it's a popular joke.
No, because I was at Comic-Con and they were giving out Harry Potter tote bags and they were worth $100 on eBay that night, and I got one at the end of the show and I listed it and I got $11. So like you gotta get on that purple dildo quick. You can't.
Why
you can't
was it
dawdle.
a purple dildo?
Because I never read a Harry Potter book. I don't know. Did you put your name in the goblet of purple dildos, Harry? No?
I want more
Goblet of Fire
Dumbledore
reference.
impersonations from you.
Is that how he sounds?
It's
I don't
exactly
know.
how he sounds.
Yes.
If I were to give you Albus Dumbledore passages, would you read them exactly like that?
Yeah, for a Patreon goal, maybe.
Yeah, that is a good Patreon goal, actually.
Why do we keep referencing Patreon? What is Patreon? Well, for those who don't know,
57 minutes in.
Patreon is for people who go to patreon.com/Brainstorm Brewery and give us as little as $1 per month, which works out to 20 or 25 cents an episode. With that, they can have access to our Discord server where we talk about all our favorite inside jokes about the podcast, and we form a community, and it's great to have us a little bit, just access to us like on our off hours. It's a great thing. For $5, $10, $20, or $40, you get additional perks, including... Not this glass in particular. This is one of the bad ones because there's no M, if you'll notice. But we have good glasses to go out. If your name's Jeremy Miller, give us your new new mailing address. And we'll get you tokens and glasses.
DJ will read it on the cast.
Yeah. Well, hey, just email to us. But for everyone else who correctly put their mailing address in the Patreon, we'll be sending glasses out to the people at the applicable tier. We have 2 new tokens coming out. And we will have special exclusive tokens being sent to the people that are subscribed to the Patreon as of December 31st, 2018.
We have a new token. Are we talking about it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I sent JJ the file this week, so it is actually getting previewed, so that's good.
It'll be,
what is it?
The image of it will be in the show notes. If you don't have the show notes, go to brainstormbrewery.com and check on the latest episode. It looks really good.
Yeah, so if you're watching the YouTube video, this is actually a great chance to check out our new token. It is a Saproling for all of you who have built Slimefoot Commander decks, for all of you who want to put Saprolings into play with other Commander cards. I mean, Avengers Zendikar is like the best one, but it doesn't make Saprolings, it makes plants. But you can use these as plants if you want. That's fine.
We have plants.
We
actually have plants.
But this token was actually done by one of our listeners, Johnny Acurso. Johnny Acurso.
No, I think that's correct.
Acurso?
Yeah.
And so he did a really good job. It looks amazing. Saplings swimming in the little beer swamp.
It's really
and
it's really good. Yeah.
It's great.
So those tokens will be going out. We got other special exclusive tokens only to people subbed at the end of 2018. So we will be adding a bunch of stuff January 1st. So look out for that. But there's going to be stuff that you can only get if you're locked in now. So if you're listening to this podcast and you're like, should I lock in? Yeah, just get locked in. Give us as little as $1 a month. That's all we're asking. So if you get locked in at $1, you'll be able to pump up your tier and later and get access to some of that stuff. So that's it. That's the Patreon pitch. Like, we're not asking for much. We think 20 cents an episode is pretty reasonable.
We are very close to the goal for 2018, guys. 2019, sorry. 2019 Brainstorm Brewery Party.
Yep.
We're very close to that goal. We are looking at dates on a calendar. We're assuming that the Patreon's going to get there, so we'll be able to do this. Hopefully you all make that happen. But we're looking forward to it. We want to pick a GP that works for us and works for everyone else. I'll tell you that we probably aren't doing Vegas. Because there's so much going on every single Vegas that, yeah, it's great if we're able to make it happen, but it's just the odds of making Vegas work are just very difficult. It'll be much better if we just pick a GP where still good location, but it's not Vegas.
Exactly. So we'll find GP that works, provided the Patreon gets to that next tier, and then the tier after that, our wives will come on the podcast and make fun of us. So that'll be a good thing. Also, at the same the Vegas party or non-Vegas party, I guess tier, we're gonna burn Corbin's squeaky ass chair.
JJ is excited about burning the chair.
Yeah.
Fire codes will be broken.
is he thinks it's gonna happen. We're very close. So just tell your friends. If you're on the fence, I would do it. I would get locked in before 2018 ends.
I'm trying to make my chair squeak and it doesn't want to cooperate.
But you don't have to lock in at $1. You could lock in at a higher tier, have access to the drinking glasses, the playmats, some more tokens. Like
we recorded plenty of after hours tonight too. By the way, there's plenty of after hours coming.
There's plenty of after
I don't know how
hours,
JJ's going to cut it up, but I'm sure it's going to be the worst way possible. Just kidding.
So that's the Patreon pitch. It's easy. Just we're really grateful to have a ton of patrons, really. Like you look at some of the other like really successful Magic podcasts where giving them a run for their money and numbers of patrons, and it's hard to believe sometimes. Well, it's a little overwhelming that so many of you like our little dipshit podcast about a children's card game.
I mean, on a real note, since we are talking about this, you brought up other podcasts, and I look at some of the support that other podcasts get, whether it's recording live episodes or being featured by Wizards or getting preview cards or however you want to talk about it, right? And it really does make me pretty happy that we're not only, we could always just make a show, right? But we are able to make a show and pay for the show and rewards for our patrons and have plenty of patrons while not getting any of that support that, other shows get to help them. So it's really cool just to even be on the tier.
Yes.
So, all right. So DJ, going back to that email, it sounded like you had actual advice for Daniel 5 years ago.
Oh yeah. If any of you are holding on to random garbage that cannot be sold on TCG Player, or you just don't really know where or how to sell it, there are Facebook groups specifically dedicated to vintage accessories, weird ancillary stuff like signs and
What's the best?
posters.
What's the name of some of those groups?
MTG Vintage Accessories is one.
That's
MTG
good to know
Sealed
about.
MTG Sealed Collectors is another one. Those are the two big ones. Generally, if it's something that is printed in the most recent, like, if it's something past like Lorwyn or Shards of Alara block, it's not really going to be worth as much.
Right.
The vintage stuff is where it really gets exciting, like those boxes you showed on the cast earlier, like the old metal pins. That's the really valuable stuff. But I mean, anything can go on eBay at this point. Like, I have the Magic the Gathering M&Ms that I referenced earlier. I have some oversized cards, stuff like that.
I have the leather and copper time spiral trade binder, and I use it as a trade binder, and it's all dinged up. I wish I'd kept it pristine.
Yeah, but generally just Facebook groups or Twitter, like post it on Twitter, put a hashtag MTG buy sell on it, tag some important people, and then get some retweets. You'll find somebody out there that's looking for it.
Good to know. All right, you guys want to do pick of the week before we get out of here this week? I heard Jason's got a good one.
Quick pick of the week.
He's been talking it up.
Pick of the week's a lecture, right? Like, I'll go last.
Okay.
Pick of the week, pick of the week, pick of the week. Time for the pick of the week.
DJ, why don't you go ahead, man?
I got a TED Talk for pick of the week.
Sure.
TED
So,
Talk for pick of the okay.
my pick of the week is predicated on a commander deck that I actually built recently. I put together Thantis the Warweaver because that is a commander that I really was attracted to after sitting through a miserable 2-hour game where everybody was afraid to attack each other. Everyone else was forming alliances and just being like, oh, I don't want to attack because then I might get attacked. I'm going to roll dice to decide who to attack. And I was just miserable with all of the creature-based decks not doing anything to engage in combat. So I built Thantis because I want everybody to kill each other.
What does this commander do?
It is one of the commander precon commanders from the Jund deck that everybody gave shit to. It's not lands matter, but it is a 6/6 spider it's a 5/5 spider for 6 mana with vigilance and reach. And it says every creature has to attack every turn.
Oh,
and
interesting.
if any of those creatures direct their attacks at you or your planeswalkers, Thantis gets a +1/+1 counter. So he will attack every turn, or she will attack every turn. She will hold back the fort to defend, and she will get very, very big and scary if you ever decide to attack me. So the deck is very much focused on, I don't tax people, I don't prevent combat from coming at me. It's just very much a deterrent. So you can attack me if you want. There's no ghostly prisons. There's no crawl spaces or anything like that. But it just strongly discourages attacking me. And I've noticed that Crown of Doom is a near bulk rare that just spiked to $3 over the past few months, just because it's a card that goes in Thantis, and it was not in the precon. And Crown of Doom is a card that it's like a curse where you give it to somebody else, and then they're encouraged to be attacked. So you give it to a player who might be a threat and just very strongly encourage other people to attack. And one of the cards I play in this deck that has a very low supply is Dread. This card is like
Oh,
No
yeah.
Mercy.
Dread is it's a no mercy with feet.
Yeah, card's
Actually,
cool.
I want to interject here. Zedru, Marchesa, Gaji, Zancha, Kineos, and Tiro, and Mathis play more Doom Crown of Doom than Thantis does.
Right, but I think that's because Thantis doesn't have very many decks total listed on EDH.
That's true, but I mean, yeah, but like out of the 1,400, about a third of them are Zedru.
Yes. And I think that, like, but those aren't people who are just now putting Crown of Doom into Zedru. People who have been playing Crown of Doom and Zedru for however long Crown of Doom and Zedru have existed together. Thantis is a new card that recently people are just putting new cards into, and so Dread.
You know what I like in Thantis is the stuff that really punishes them for swinging at you, like Kazul, Tyrant of Cliffs, Koskin Falls, Dread, No Mercy, Crawl Space, Marchesa's Degree, all that crap. I really like that.
Yeah, I'm slowly cutting a lot of just the taxing effects because I want people to be able to attack at will. I'm also having a lot of fun giving other people tokens.
I like forcing them to attack somebody else, though.
Well, you're incentivizing them to attack somebody else.
Yes.
Close.
Yeah.
And so Dread is a creature from Lorwyn. It's a 6-mana 6/6. It's got some good casual appeal. It's slowly crept over.
Oh, so Crown of Doom isn't your pick? Dread is?
Dread is my pick. Crown of Doom already spiked from $1 to $3. I don't really think it goes any higher than that.
Yeah.
But Dread has just slowly been creeping up. I mean, it was around $3 during Rivals of Pixel and Dominaria.
I'm with TJ on this. That's a good pick.
And then it goes to 4, and I think this is just a card where you could blink and it's suddenly 7 or 8, just based off of scarcity.
It's unfortunate that you can't reanimate it because it has to be put back in your... When it's put in...
It does have the Guile and Hostility and Purity clause.
Instant speed reanimation works, but...
Yeah, but...
Not...
I mean,
not
it's just...
But it's still good, obviously.
Yes.
I like it. All right, I've got one this week that... I'm interested to hear what you guys think, because they've clearly shown they're willing to reprint it. That said, it keeps starting to rebound from these reprints at least a little. But Merciless Eviction is $2 almost. Excuse me. It's not been picked as a breaking bulk, or I'm sorry, as a pick of the week before.
Oh, this will be in the guild kit for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like 100%.
So
yeah, I'm with Jason on this.
Pick them up then.
Pick them up then.
Yeah. Because they'll probably be like a buck.
I wonder what the expensive card in the guild kit's going to be.
Debtors No.
Yeah, I think you're right. It'll probably be Debtors No because it's got to be something from a Ravnica set. And Nell's like what, like $11, $12, something like that.
I think it's 7 or 8, but it's still
it's one of those cards
level card.
Yeah, it's one of those cards that used to be really good in Commander and is now just not good enough. So I actually think that this reprint's going to kind of kill it. Like the price on the
position
card
is in this.
But it's privileged position tier. Like it's almost the same exact.
Yeah, I mean, the price on
corollary.
The price on Debtors No has not changed in literally 5 years.
Yeah.
It has quite literally been. It was $8 in August of 2012, and it was $8 in August of 2018.
Woo!
Right, and I think a lot of that's just still casual player demand. Like, Balefire Liege is in the same boat of just like, this is a casual Dirtle card that people just slowly buy over time, and then they get recycled back into the market at the same speed.
Yeah.
So, Debtors No is a casual Dirtle card, and Merciless Fiction is going to get reprinted.
I really think it's in that deck.
There's no way it's not.
See, at least privileged position.
So if you wanted to pick something else, but
price.
if you look at the other stuff that's not, like Anguished Unmaking, like what Marcel called Utter's End.
Anguished Unmaking is really good and been going up. It's been going up a lot.
Yeah.
Well,
what I like is Utter End and Anguished Unmaking both have a promo, and I think the promo price is pretty close.
Yeah.
And I think that will start to diverge a little bit.
Yeah, the promo printing of Anguished Unmaking is also very cool.
I would, if I were going to make a play based on, because White Black has a ton of good removal. It's got Mortify, it's got Unmake, it's got Anguish Unmaking, Utter End, it's got Merciless Eviction. If I were planting my money somewhere, I would buy those promos.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah.
Because I think after the guild kit, I think you could get Merciless Eviction for bulk.
Yeah, you're gonna get Merciless Eviction for bulk or $1.
It'll be a $2 card.
Yeah, it'll $1 retail, and it's just going to go up again. The card's just insane. So.
It's in the top 100 most played cards on EDH, right?
It's not like Cyclonic Rift levels of just shrugging off reprints, but I do think it's going to shrug off reprints, and it's always going to be $2, $3. until they happen to go a couple years without printing it, in which case it's going to hit 5, So
Yeah.
you get them when this guild kit comes out for $1, you're doing well. All right, Jason, diatribe away.
Okay, so this is something I've noticed. Anytime something gets distributed through non-Magic channels, people don't tend to know specifically what they have. I found back issues of the IDW Magic comic books in comic book stores, and if Magic people come along that are savvy, they're like, "Oh, that Duress promo is $60, yoink." Take that off the shelf for $4. But a lot of the comic book shops are like, old comic books I couldn't sell, they're 33 cents a piece or whatever. So even on like some of the websites that sell old comic books, they haven't quite figured out that those promos are worth way more than the books. So like on eBay, they've mostly figured it out. But if you can find some other comic book websites, I found stuff like Standstill, High Tide, Faithless Looting, some of those $25 promos to $60 promos that are like, in a $4 comic book from 5 years ago. They're much cheaper online, and if you find them in person, they're not even going to charge you the $4 cover price. They're just going to get it on my store. So make sure the card is inside. It's not inside the comic book. It's inside some plastic wrap, so you can see the card just in there. So it's visible. It's on the front of the comic book, and the stuff's all plastic wrapped together. So if you don't see the card, then someone took it out. But you'll see the card on the front of the book. The comic book's not bad. When they printed Faithless Looting, I was like, I should just get these books. So I put up my poll every week, and I was buying the 3 shelf copies to go with the 1 copy that was in my comic book poll. But now I stopped doing that because I had too many Feast of Blood and Corrupt and Arrest. But even stuff like that, I think if you're paying the get it off my shelf $1 price, paying $1 on any comic book that has got that promo in it, no matter what the promo is, it's worth it. So basically, my pick of the week is any IDW comic book with the promo card still in there, at cover price.
I think there are probably more of them out there than maybe people realize, because you're right.
Comic book shops,
they're very different than Magic stores sometimes.
Yeah. Yep, and they're not going to know, and no one gives a crap because they're like, that's not what they normally deal in. So they're not going to go on eBay and, for the most part, and see what that Duress or that High Tide or that Faithless Looting's worth. So you can find them out in the wild. Like, I've been in comic book shops, and I'm like, do you have the Magic comic books? And I'm just, I have like 12 Faithless Lootings now, and that's a $25 promo.
That's really good to know, actually. I might go do that.
Yep. So if the shop sells Magic cards and they're like super on top of it, great. But if they're not, congrats.
Yeah.
So that's something to look for out in the wild. And anytime you're getting Magic stuff distributed through non-Magic channels for people that don't really know what the stuff is, you're going to find opportunities like that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys. Anything else you want to touch on before we get out of here this week?
No.
All right. Well, everybody, I hope you made it through this episode. We probably got some good after hours out of it, so enjoy. Next week, I assume we'll have a little more Magic to talk about. So let us know what you want to hear about. This is the time to get those emails in.
Yeah, if you're a patron, just say in the line that you are a patron, say what tier you're at, and we will read your email because we're supposed to. That's another Patreon perk.
True.
You go to patreon.com/Brainstorm Brewery and give us a small amount of money. Just to tell us, hey, been thinking of you. I like your podcast. Thanks so much for the tens of thousands of dollars you've made me over the years with your good advice. You can't break us off $1. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I got a little heated.
It happens. We're here for you. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening. I'm going to try to hold Jason back. We'll see you next week.